In this mini-series, we are going to take a glimpse at legacy brands, those brands that have stood the test of time. In this part, we will dive into the world of Chanel, starting from the 1800s with the life and times of the great Gabrielle Bonheur Chanel herself.
Let's go on a journey into the life and times of a woman who redefined fashion, challenged conventions, and left her mark on the whole world. Coco Chanel, born Gabrielle Bonheur Chanel, wasn't just a designer. She was an architect of modernity, a force who stitched her name into the fabric of history.
If you like what we do here on the channel, please take a moment to hit the like and subscribe as we release new videos weekly. Thank you.
Going behind the interlocked seas that adorn the world's most coveted creations lies the story of a rebel, a visionary, and an enduring force of change. From her humble beginnings to her revolutionary designs, her story is a testament to the power of vision, resilience, and reinvention. Chanel's beginnings were far from the glamour she would come to define. Coco Chanel's story begins on August 19, 1883, in the small town of Saumur, France. Born into poverty, her childhood was far removed from the elegance and luxury that would later define her life. Her parents, Jean de Vol and Albert Chanel, struggled to make ends meet, and tragedy struck early. At the age of 12, Chanel's mother died of tuberculosis, leaving Gabrielle and her siblings to face the uncertain future. Her father, unable to care for his children, sent Gabrielle to an orphanage at the Abbey of Aubazine, run by strict Catholic nuns. Right there, young Gabrielle was introduced to the art of sewing. What began as a survival skill would later become the foundation of her empire. The significant sense of discipline and appreciation for simplicity that nuns also instilled in her there are the values that would later define her approach to design. Yet, the convent walls wouldn't contain Gabrielle's ambitions. Even as a child, she dreamed escaping the confines of her circumstances, of creating a life filled with beauty and freedom. Little did the world know, this orphaned girl from Saumur would one day liberate women from the constraints of fashion itself. Before she became Coco Chanel, Gabrielle was a singer. In her late teens, she performed in cabarets, entertaining soldiers with renditions of popular songs. It was during this time that she earned the nickname Coco, possibly derived from one of the songs she frequently sang, Qui que veut Coco, or perhaps a term of endearment given by her admirers. But Chanel's true talent lay not in singing, but in her ability to reinvent herself. She transitioned from performing to working as a seamstress, honing her skills and dreaming of something greater. Her life changed when she met Etienne Balzan, a wealthy textile heir who became her lover and patron. It was in Balzan's world of leisure and privilege that Chanel began to envision her future. Using the connections she made through Balzan, Chanel opened her first shop in Paris in 1910 at 21 Rue Cambon. Chanel wasn't selling haute couture yet, only hats. Those hats were simple, quite revolutionary, free from the excessive frills and ostentation of Belle Epoque. Chanel had begun what would be a lifelong rebellion against the constrictions of fashion. By the 1920s, Chanel had moved beyond hats to create clothing that would redefine women's fashion. She introduced jersey fabric, a material previously relegated to men's undergarments, into her designs. Why? Because it was practical, comfortable, and versatile, a far cry from the restrictive corsets and heavy fabrics of the time. Chanel believed that fashion should adapt to women, not the other way around. Her designs liberated women, both physically and symbolically. Chanel's clothing allowed women to move freely, to work and live with a sense of ease and confidence. Her little black dress, introduced in 1926, was the epitome of her philosophy, elegance in simplicity and sophistication. Vogue called it Chanel's fort, referencing the Model T car, a garment for every woman, a uniform for modernity. With a single stroke, she redefined elegance, proving that less is indeed more. Chanel No. 5, launched in 1921, remains one of her most enduring legacies. This perfume, with its unconventional aldehyde notes, was a gamble, but it became a masterpiece, encapsulating the essence of the modern woman, unpredictable and unforgettable. Chanel wasn't just a designer, she was a cultural force. Her creation embodied the spirit of the Roaring Twenties, a time of liberation and experimentation. She championed androgyny, incorporating elements of men's fashion in her designs, and rejected the notion that women's clothing had to be ornate or frivolous. To Chanel, elegance was a matter of restraint, a refusal of excess. Her personal life, much like her designs, was layered with complexity. She loved intensely but never married, defying societal expectations. Her connections from aristocrats to artists like Picasso, English polo player Arthur Boyd Capel, Hugh Grosvenor, the second Duke of Westminster, and Russian composer Stravinsky speak to her magnetic persona, a woman of contradictions, at once austere and indulgent, pragmatic and poetic. Capel, perhaps the greatest love of her life, financed her early ventures and introduced her to the sophisticated world that would shape her aesthetic. His untimely death in 1919 left Chanel devastated, yet it also fueled her drive to succeed. She poured her energy into her work, transforming her grief in creative fire. Coco Chanel's life wasn't without controversy. During World War II, she lived at the Ritz Hotel in Nazi-occupied Paris and had been romantically involved with a German intelligence officer, Hans Gunther von Dinklage. These actions led to accusations of collaboration, a shadow that lingers over her legacy, a chapter that cannot be overlooked, yet one that doesn't diminish her revolutionary contributions to fashion. However, Chanel's resilience was undeniable. At the age of 70, when many believed her career was over, she staged a triumphant comeback in 1954. She reinforced her signature designs, including the iconic tweed suit and quilted handbag, proving once again that her vision was timeless. Coco Chanel passed away on January 10, 1971, while living in her suite at the Ritz Hotel in Paris for over 30 years. Yet her spirit lives on in every quilted handbag, every tweed jacket, every spritz of Chanel No. 5, which whispers her name. The House of Chanel remains one of the most prestigious names in fashion, a symbol of elegance, innovation and individuality. Her influence extends far beyond the runway. Chanel taught us that the elegance is not about wealth or status, but about authenticity and self-expression. She once said, "Fashion fades, only style remains the same." Her legacy is proof of this truth. The life of Coco Chanel was a story of reinvention, turning adversity into opportunity and challenging of the status quo. From the orphanage in Saumur to the ateliers of Paris, she rose to become a global icon, a woman who gave us not just clothes, but a way of being. Her story is a reminder that no matter where we begin, we can shape our own destinies. And for that, we owe her not just admiration, but gratitude. So the Chanel dynasty story doesn't end there. Stay tuned for the next episode and a new era of Chanel.
So, there you have it. The more you know, the more you grow. If you like this video, please take a moment to slap the like, comment, and subscribe. And if you don't know what to comment, type Coco. Au revoir.